Hi, Emmanuel. Can you hear me? Emmanuel, are you there? Can you hear me? Kindly unmute your mic and let me know if you can hear me. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Can you see me? If you can you react? If you can't speak, can you react? It starts in 1 or 2 minutes. Let's get other people in here. Hi, Victor. Hi, Emmanuel. Welcome to the day 2 of the Solidity Bootcamp. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly? If you don't mind, you can unmute and let me know if you can hear clearly.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I'd like to know if you joined the first session yesterday.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I missed the session due to my schedules, but I don't know if I can access the recording so I can catch up.
All right. So yeah, there will be a recording on YouTube. We will upload it on YouTube in due time. Thank you very much for joining today. So basically today we'll be looking at this. Let's see. So I hope my screen is very, very clear.
Yes, very clear.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the feedback. Okay, so today we're going to see all about everything you need to know about smart contracts. What is a smart contract, how they are being run, and languages that are used to build or to write smart contracts. So I don't know, you should be with your writing materials. So in case you want to pick up some important points, because of course you are going to learn a whole lot. So yeah, thank you for joining us once again. Let me start by introducing myself. I am I'm Elisha David, but I think you know me better as DeFi DevRel. I am the DevRel at Memory Africa, and yeah, my the host actually is um Gerald Sule. He's a chief technical officer there, and yeah, my other of my teammates might be joining as we speak. So in the meantime, let us continue. Let's go ahead with what we came here for. So today we'll be looking at Solidity compiler. What is the Solidity compiler? What is a data type? What are variables? We look at arrays, we look at structs, that structures, right? So sorry. Okay, so first off, a Solidity compiler converts code to a collection of bytes and instructions. So first, I know some of us here might be Web2 developers, and in order for us to get a bigger understanding or a better understanding of this, I have to break it down. Um, so a compiler is basically a program. Yeah, it's a special program that converts source code that is written in a high level programming language to a low level, or let me say, a computer understandable code. Yes, a machine code that is understandable by the computer. So that process of converting your source code into a machine code or a machine language is called compiling. That is the work of a compiler. It translates high level languages to machine code or low level languages where the computer can understand. So basically, Ethereum developers writing smart contract in Solidity. if you look at it, that point was highlighted because we are trying to let you know that you can write smart contracts using the programming language called Solidity. Take note of that. So Ethereum developers writing smart contracts in Solidity must run their code through a compiler so that the EVM can understand and execute appropriate commands. What is EVM? It's Ethereum virtual machine where certain blockchain operations take place. So there are two Solidity compilers. We have the soak and we have the soak.js too. And the actual Solidity compiler, which is soak, is written in C++ and currently at version 0.8.23. So that is basic information about what a compiler is. That's basic information. Now, let me go further to explain why we need compilers, right? So first of all, remember the main aim is to convert it's simple. It converts human readable code to machine understandable code. That's one. So computers need to computers need to understand and execute instructions, written in machine code. So the work of the compiler is to convert from your high level language to the machine understandable code, right? And secondly, high level languages offer a level of what's the right word? It offers a level of abstraction, allowing programmers to focus on solving problems instead of dealing with the instead of dealing with converting. So these compilers make it easier for developers. So I don't know if that makes sense in any way to somebody in the call. So let's see. Yeah, just in the illustration you're seeing here.
It makes sense.
All right, thank you. So you can see that this here. This is your Pragma. This is your Solidity version 0.4.0. And this is your contract. Although you've not, it's an empty contract, no function has been written. So if you try to compile this, the computer you are seeing it as this, right? But the computer, this is the compiler here. The compiler compiles it into a machine readable code. And this is what the computer sees this piece of information as. It sees it this way, and it's able to perform the actions that is needed. So that is a graphical representation of what a Solidity compiler does. All right. All right, thank you for joining us. So let's move on to data types. I hope I am not too fast. Am I? Am I too fast, or do you need to put down something you've not put down yet so I could slow down? I'm not getting any response. Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm following your concepts. You're clear.
All right. Thank you very much for that feedback. So, um, okay, give me a sec. All right. So, am I audible once again? Okay, there was a glitch somewhere. Okay, so if you can hear me, can you react? Can you react in the or can you type in the chat box?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that. So we are looking into data types. So Solidity is a statically typed language, which means that each type of, that the type of each variable needs to be specified. Yeah, we are going to look at what types of data that we have, when working with Solidity. Now, I did not mention that you can write smart contracts with Rust. You can write smart contracts with Solidity. You can write smart contracts with Viper. I think JavaScript lately has been doing some work. So what we are focusing on for this for the course of this bootcamp, remember, is a Solidity bootcamp. So we are focusing on Solidity. So we said that Solidity is statically typed. So in that case, you need to specify what you need to specify the type of each variable. My internet connection is unstable. I think I have a problem. Okay, can you hear me now? I think my network has been restored. Can you hear me now? Can anybody in the room hear me? Alrighty. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your response. Um, I need to Okay, so speaking of data types, I think I have 3 persons in the room trying to join. Admit. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, speaking of data types, we have Boolean. Boolean or Boolean, depending on how you want to pronounce it. We have Boolean and it accepts only 2 values. Now, these values are true or false. Yeah, Boolean accepts just 2 values, either true or false. And we have the integer. The integer data type is used to store integer values. I think if you come across some Solidity codes, you would see the use of int. Sorry, that's a mistake. Okay, you see the use of int and uint. Int is an integer and uint is unsigned integer. So this is a signed integer and uint is unsigned int. Okay, it's being stated here. Int and unsigned and uint are used to declare signed and unsigned integers respectively. So I think you should put that down if you are with your writing material or something. And as well, if you have questions in the course of um the session, you can write it down as well for the in anticipation for the Q&A session. Fixed point numbers. These data types are not fully supported yet. According to the Solidity documentation, yeah, they can be declared as fixed data or unfixed data for both signed and unsigned point numbers, varying in sizes respectively. So fixed point data numbers are not they are not yet supported with Solidity. Yeah. For address, the address holds a 20 bytes value, which represents the size of an Ethereum address. An address can be used to get a balance or to transfer a balance by balance and transfer method, respectively. So all these are data types. Your address is a 20 byte value. If you count the digits that makes up your wallet address, especially for Ethereum, some of them would be 20. I think the max number is 20, I guess. Okay, we go over to the bytes. Now, bytes are similar to strings. There are some differences between them. Bytes are used to store a fixed size of character set, while a string is used to store the character set equal to or more than a byte. What does that mean? How do I explain it? A byte is used to store a fixed size character. Like you have how do I put it? You have letters of the alphabet A, B, C. Now A can be A, B, C. The individual letters themselves can be the bytes, while the compilation of all of them, that's A to Z, can be the string. Yeah, I think that is a lot better way to explain it. We have enums. It is used to create user-defined data types, used to assign a name to a constant, making the contract more readable, maintainable, and of course, less prone to errors. So enough of the talking, and let's see each of these data types in our Solidity code. Okay. All right, so looking at our code here, we can see that on the first line, you'd see we specified pragma solidity from greater or equal to version 0.4.22 through less than 0.9.0. So you can use a compiler version between 0.4.22 to 0.8.99 to run this code, and any of them will go through. Now a contract name types was created, and you initialize your remember your boolean variable. This is it. But for this, the boolean is set to false, and your integer, this is how it looks. Your string, and you have your bytes, exactly how I explained it, and your enums. And in the course of the session, you get to understand deeper about these data types. So so far, do we have any question? I think I have been speaking up a lot. Do you understand what I am saying, or do you have any objection to any of my to any of what I've said so far? I just want a little interactive session in the next 3 to 5 minutes.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Speak up. Thank you.
Okay. With regards to data type, I do know that Solidity is statically typed. As such, everything must be declared. The nature of every data you want to save must be declared. But my regards is with integers. Um, would you want to? Would you have to, like as I'm seeing on the screen, you have minus value. So when you are declaring, do you have to specify whether it is a positive or is a negative value? Like, is it what's the difference between signed integers and unsigned integers? And would you have to declare them in your this thing?
Okay. So thank you very much for that question. So first of all, let's look at the signed integers. So signed integers are those integers that that can store both positive and negative numbers. I hope I'm very loud and clear.
Yes, I'm following you.
Also, so signed integers store both positive and negative numbers. You can, like in this code, you can see 32-bit integer storing minus 60313, right? So unsigned, sorry, okay, I've explained what a signed integer is. So unsigned integers means it can only store a non-negative number. That is Either you start from 0 to all positive. You cannot store any negative number in an unsigned integer. Do you understand? So
Yes, yes.
the major
So
difference between the two is the signed integer accepts both negative and positive values, while unsigned stores only positive values from 0. Yeah, I think you were saying something. Please, can you continue?
yeah, I got what you say, and I will love when we get into the lab, like let me see the syntax for differentiating between them, because I used to have some issues with that, and also with handling the floating numbers, like where you have to um where you have to declare, eh, like how you represent floating numbers with on Solidity. I think when we get to the lab, I will see more on that,
All
on the
right.
syntax.
All right, that's fine. Okay, thank you very much for your contribution and your question. I think because of your question, some persons must have gotten the difference between int and uint. So before I move on, is there any other question? Okay, so in the absence of any other question, let's move forward to variables. Now, what is a variable? Um, how do I explain variables? Okay, let me make it an open question. What is a variable? Can anybody try? Then at the end of the day, I will put in something. Can anybody try what is a variable? Someone that has not spoken before, I want to hear you speak. Let me look at our participants. So if I will have to call names. Okay. So Mutoni, can you unmute yourself? Do you know what a variable is?
I can try.
All right. Give it
It
a
is
shot.
it is where a value is being held.
Awesome. It is simply a storage location, right, in a computer memory. Do you agree? Mutoni, can you hear me? Do you agree that it is a storage location, basically is used to store and represent data within the computer, right? Oh,
Yes.
a program. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So yes, just like Mutoni said, or we both agree that variables store and represent data within a program. So they provide a way for programmers, for developers to work with and to manipulate data in a flexible manner. So I think we have three kinds of variables. We have the state variable, we have the local variable, and we have the global variable. So the state variables are those variables that have their values permanently stored in a contract storage, while the local have their values present, like their values are kept until when the function is being executed. I think there are code snippets we will run so you can understand these better. Let me see if my um let me see if my remix is up. Okay, so I talked about the state variables and the local variables. So the global variables, they are declared outside of a function, making it to be accessible throughout the entire contract. So they exist in the global namespace used to get information about the blockchain, while the local is being declared inside a function, and that's why I said it's present till when the function is being executed or is being declared. And we have the state variables. They exist as long as the object they belong to exists, so it's permanently stored in the storage. So I don't know if that makes sense because we are moving forward. Okay, give me a sec. Let's run up this piece of code. I don't know if you are seeing my screen. You can see my I don't know if you can see the remix screen here.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
I can see your screen.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, just like I said, yeah, I need to specify the compiler version. I need to make it the same 0.8.5 or 0.5. That is pretty low. So let's make this 0.8. Okay, let's make it 0.8. 8.27. I think that's the stable version of Remix 27. Let's just use 22. Okay. So let's try to compile. Oh yeah, we will need to add something like / SPDX. SPDX license. Okay. Control Z. Give me a sec. Okay, so need to do that now. What is the error? Visibility for constructor is ignored. If you want the contract to be non-deployable, make it abstract. Um, okay, let's solve that out. So the name of our contract here is Solidity Test. Remove the public keyword used for the constructor. Okay. We are asked to remove public. Unused local variable. What is wrong? Results.
I think we are not. I have a suggestion.
Okay, yeah.
I think okay. I think because
Yeah, I'm hearing you, I'm listening.
okay. I was thinking that the 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 result is being going to store data, and then we now return the store data as it's been updated. So
Okay, can you come again?
I was thinking what the function intended doing was to um store the result to the store data, and then return the store that, like, return it back to it, like, to the function.
Okay, let's see if it works. Compile. Um, okay. All right, I don't know if you can see this part of my screen. How do I zoom in? Because that part is very important. We need to see it. Okay, let's. Can you see the down part of my screen where we have deployed contracts?
Yes, okay.
Awesome. So if you look at it, so we have a state variable here. What do we say about state variables? We said it's permanently stored in a contract storage, right? So whenever you compile this code or you deploy it, this value here, 10, remains, but our local variable that is here is only stored within this function. So sometimes you can decide to change it. It can change inside the local inside this function. But look at it, the state variable was put in the constructor, and it is stored in the contract itself, in Solidity test contract, permanently. So I think what is left is the global variable, right? I think the global variable is, I explained it as a variable that is accessible throughout the blockchain, right? So since we are not writing that kind of a function, you won't be you won't see sorry you won't see a practical use of it, but this is basically an explanation for your states and your how do I put it? Your state and your local variables. And this is what you use. Yeah, regarding your question or your suggestion, we use the return. We use the return to call the value of the stored data and as well call the value of our result here. I hope you get me. I think somebody said something about
Yes, yes, I got you now.
all right, thank you. So let's move forward. We've spent a couple of time. Okay, so what is an array? An array is a data structure that stores a fixed size of sequential. Okay, that is going to be a very long English language. How do I simplify it? Or should we go ahead with it? I think we should have some beginners here as well. So let me make it a little bit simple. So an array should be a data structure that stores.
Just a moment,
All right.
Elisha. I think we have quite some beginners, and I'd like to indulge everyone. We don't want to this to fly over your head, right? If you have any challenges or any questions, be very free to ask your questions here or in the group, so that we'll be sure everybody's getting the maximum they can get from this, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Mona, for that. Please feel free to write your questions down when we have our 10 minutes QA session. You can ask. So basically, an array is a data structure that stores a collection of elements, you know, and arrays, sorry, these elements are identified by an index or a key. So it is used to store a collection of data, but it's more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of the same type. See why we talked about variables first. Now, an array can be used to store variables of the same type, like, okay, I think there is an example. There is an example code where, okay, in Solidity, an array can be of compile time fixed size or of dynamic size. For storage array, it can have different types of elements as well. In case of memory array, element type cannot be mapping, and in case it is to be used as a function parameter, then element type should be an ABI type. I think you will understand this better when we run this code. So it will not look like I'm speaking a lot of English language. So let's see what the code has in for us. Okay, our contract has been compiled. Now let's deploy to see the functions. So first of all, what is the name? Can somebody look at the contract and tell me the name of the contract? Anyone? Look closely.
Test.
What is the name? I didn't hear you clearly.
Test.
Oh, that's correct. Give me a sec. I feel like I should zoom in a bit. Option. Press and hold option key. Okay. Okay, so we deploy tests. Now this is our contract here. So we deploy the function test array, and give me a sec. I think there's a problem somewhere. Declared the function this use length of 7 dynamic array array. Hmm. Ooh. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, I don't know. I have some network issue here. So basically, first off, this is a practical expression of an array. So what the code does is it defines a contract name test, and like I mentioned before, with a function named test array. Now looking into the function, it first of all declares, I don't know, maybe I'm going to share this later. It it first of all declares and initializes your variable named what is the name of the variable there?
Len,
Exactly, named len. Sorry. And what is the value? With value 7. So that is your variable name and the value. Now to declare your dynamic array, looking at this code now, you should know there is a dynamic array, there are some assertions, we have array manipulation, and then you have a static array on line 25. So let me try and break it down line after line. So here we are trying to, what do you think we are trying to do here? We are trying to declare a dynamic, sorry, let me not use a double-lined comment. Let me write it here. We are trying to declare a dynamic array, and that dynamic array is called or is named A, right? And the type, remember, if you look at it closely, we declare this one with a type. What is the name of the type?
On int
And what does
or
uint?
uint.
Yeah, what does it mean?
Unsigned integer.
Correct. I love it how you are following. So we pointed, or we declared our dynamic array to a uint of length 7. Then what do we do next? We declared a byte variable. We declared a byte variable declares a byte variable called b, with a length of len. Now what does that, what do you think this means?
Basically, this array is going to contain 7 items, or the byte is going to contain seven letters, kind of.
Correct. Remember, we declared and initialized a variable here named len, right? Now this variable is taking up the same length of the initial variable here. I don't know if I'm making sense to anyone here. Okay, so without wasting much more time, if you look at it closely, the bytes with variable b, we declared it with a length of len, which carries 7 bytes, right? Now we assert that length of a. Assertion of that length of array a is 7. So a dot length equals to 7. And assertion of b is equals to that of len as well. So here you access the elements at index 6. Remember, I said that an array should be accessible by what? An index or a key. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. It's
I
just
think
okay.
is this assessing, or are you putting in a value into it, or are you
Okay,
trying
actually,
to?
supposed to access. I'm not, in real sense, I'm not supposed to put a value, but I have to use this code to explain it. You get, right?
Okay.
Yes, it's supposed to access an already an already set data. I'm not supposed to put in the value, but I have to use this method to explain. So it's just like you're setting up a product page on your, let's say, on your Next.js application. you create a data table where, let's say, you have 5 fruits: apple, mango, juice. Okay, let's say 3 fruits: apple, mango, juice. You put it in an array. Now, when you are trying to access the element number 1, which of them? Okay, look at it. The ID for apple is 0. The ID for mango is 1, and the ID for orange is 3. Now, if I'm accessing element 1, which one am I fetching? I don't know. Can anybody hear me? Or you are lost at some point?
I think I didn't get the order of the listing. Like,
Okay, let me write it. Let me write
if
it out.
mango is the first,
Let me write it
second.
out on the screen. If mango is equal to 0 and you have apple as 1 and you have orange as 2, and we are trying to access the element at a particular index, and then I called 1, which of these fruits will appear when I call that in my function?
Check, that should be apple.
Exactly. So that is how arrays work. You bring a group of group of related variables together, and is being accessed via an array. So that is a simple explanation of what an array is. So yeah, this number 19, that line of code is used to access the element at index number 6. At index number 6 of of the array in A. I have to write it out so that other people can see it. Then, what does number 22 do? Number 22 assets the value at index 6 and checks if it's equal to 8. And finally, you declare a static array C, which that has a data unsigned integer data type with values 1 to 3. And then finally you assert the length of array C, which is 3. You know that here you store how do I put it? 3 values. So asserting the length, all these should be called by your function, but I had to write it this way so that I can explain it better. So I think when we have a practical session in the course of this, a fully practical session, because we will not have all the time to do that. Right now, we are already running out of time, and I don't want to keep everyone. So talking about enums, what is an enum? Enums restrict a variable to have only a few predefined value. Enums is a short form for enumeration. They are used to create a user-defined type of a user-defined type, in programming languages. Enums consist of some named values, often referred to as elements, and each of them represents a distinct or a particular constant. I don't know if that makes sense in any way, right? It should actually make sense. Let me see if I can come up with something with a code. Okay. Contract example, enum, fresh juice size choice. Okay. Okay. Just see. All right. So let's run this code and see what it brings to us, and we will call it a day. Contract example. The contract name is example. Sorry for that. And the enum, fresh juice size. And we have, okay, first of all, let's deploy it and see. Let's name it enum instead of example. Enum. Enum has been deployed. Okay. So the what is the fun? Let's just see. Get choice. Get choice is 0. Set large 2. Okay, so I think I am getting to understand the concept of this. First of all, the code here, what it's trying to do, it is the enum here, fresh juice size, represents different sizes of fruit, of juices. Look at it. We have the small, medium, and large. So the enumeration here, it enumerates different sizes of fruit juices, right? And the contract here also states, it also have a state variable called what? Choice. It also have a state variable called choice, and the type is fresh juice size. To store the current, to store your current choice, whether you need a small juice or you need a medium juice or you need a large juice. Remember what I said about state variables. It stores what? Permanently. And I think we have a constant variable here, which is default choice. Yes, default choice is set to value of medium. And if you look at it, the medium is in what number? Should be number 2. I think that is why when I click,
think
yeah, I'm listening.
okay, I want to ask, like in this indexing, I don't know whether it is indexing or whether it's starting from 0 or it's starting from 1.
Okay.
Like the mean.
Yeah, I think this one starts from 1. Since it's not, I'm not sure it's will I say it's an array? No, it's not an array. What do we say about enumeration? It's
I
a
think
type.
a list of predefined options.
Yes, yes, yes. It's just like the name is enumeration. It's a data type that is used to yeah, it's used to how will I put it? Predefined stuffs, right? Like the way you're seeing small, medium, large, it's like giving you question paper with ABC and stuff, right? Where you have to make your choice. In this contract is just a contract. It's the function of this contract is for you to you make your choice of a juice. Do you need small? Do you need medium? Do you need large? Now, the default choice here is a constant variable. That is, you cannot change it, right? And it's set to medium. So do let's see what the let's see what these functions are. You see there are three functions here, and you see we have three buttons here carrying the functions. Function one is set large. So it will set, when you call this function, it will set your choice to large. Oh, I think I am wrong in a way. Actually, it starts from 0. I have seen it starts from 0. Can you hear me? I think the person that asked the question, you should see it with me too.
Yes,
Remember,
yes, yes, yes. The first
remember,
time you got one.
yes, remember when we clicked at first, it was 1. But when we click the
Yeah.
function of set large, it's changed our choice to 2. Look at the
Yes,
result here. So yes, you are
yes, yes.
correct. It starts from 0, 1, 2. So yes, the function here sets your choice to large, and the large on this array is is on number what? This will be number 0, number 1, and number 2. So that's why your choice when you call the function get choice. What is wrong? Yes, your choice is 2 instead of 3. So remember, it starts from 0, 1, 2. So I think this contract is self-explanatory. We've done a lot of explanation on it so far. Yes, talking about structs. Structs. What are structs? Struct types are used to represent a record. Struct types are used to represent a record. Now, what do we mean by that? Struct is a short form. Remember, I talked about structure before when we were introducing the topic. It's a short form for structure and is a composite data that groups variables in a single name. So you bring 3 variables together, group it, and give it a single name. And that is what a structure is. A struct is, right? So a struct is defined by specifying the data types and the names of its members. I think that's a simple way of explaining what a struct is. They are blueprints of objects created and interacted within a smart contract. Let's say you want to keep track of your books in the library. So remember that if you visit your school library, some shelves are like books on a particular shelf can be arranged according to their title. Some can be arranged according to the author, and then yeah. So struct is used to specify data types and the name and its members. So this is how a struct looks like. It takes note of the title, just like I said, takes note of the author and the book ID. So to access any member of a structure, we use the member access operator. What do they call it? That is a full stop mark. A full stop. That is the operator used to access structs. I think there's a code afterwards. Yes, so let's see what this code does. Okay, copy to our code. I hope you can see my screen clearly.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So let's make it struct example. And our compiler has compiled it successfully. Actually, you have to turn on your auto compile here in case you did not notice. I turned mine on so that I can, I won't be clicking on the compile all the time. So let's deploy and see the function of that code. Deploy, I think it's been deployed. So basically, set book. Okay, we have set book, and I think functions have been, data has been provided. Now, first of all, remember that our struct, how did the struct look like? Our struct is named book, first of all, and it has three fields, which is the title, the author, and the book ID. And can you tell me, okay, if you look at it well, it's already obvious that we are using data type of string to store the title. We are using data type of string as well to store the author. But for the book ID, since we cannot store negative numbers, we use unsigned integer uint. Book ID have to be a positive number, 0 and positive number. So that is it. So it includes it also have a state variable here. Yeah, a state variable to store it permanently inside this contract. So the function set book, let's see if we click set book here, if we would see our learn Java set book, it has worked. Now let's see get book ID. Okay, first of all, look at the function here in the get book ID function. Get book ID public view returns uint. Now, do you understand what this means? Now, the public, this is a public function. First of all, I mean, it's a global function, and it returns the value of uint inside of your uint inside where? Do you think the uint is inside the struct or is inside this other function?
I think the uint is going to store to this book, like to the book itself.
Correct. It's going to store to the book itself. Of course, if we click our get book ID here, you see it's 1. Now let me see if I change this to like 1.4.
Okay.
Yes, let's see first. If it's 1.4, you see there's an error because why? Uint
Good.
cannot store fractional numbers. It stores 0 0 to whole numbers. And let's see if I change it to like 7. Now we have to deploy again.
Have you deployed?
Yeah, I've deployed again. And let's see, let's click the function set. You see, it automatically changes to 7. Can you see it? So the function here, the function of this line, this function is to get the book ID from the previous function here. It will return. Now look at how they accessed the struct. Remember, I said in the previous slide that when you are trying to access a member of a structure, you use an operation, how do I call this aside from full stop? Or let me just say it's a stop, full stop, or that's the common way to call it, right? So look at it here. We access the book ID using that full stop and the name of the member we are trying to get. So I don't know if this is explanatory enough. I think I've done 2 examples. I've deployed twice for you to understand. So let's leave the floor open now. Does anyone have any question or you have contribution? I would appreciate if you unmute your mic and speak.
Yes, please. I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
After you wrote the contracts on line 10, there is book and small book. So I'm like, what is the use of writing that?
Okay, like I said, the small book here represents a is a state variable. It's a state variable that you'll be using inside your functions, to call members of the struct. I don't know if you understand that. Now, the first book with capital B, okay, in order not to how do I explain it? In order not to I need a real life example. Let's
Can
say,
I throw something?
okay, try something while I think of something.
Okay. I think for the book with capital is the data type, and then the book with the small letter is the variable. So since we've created a struct, so a struct is more like using struct to create your own different data type, and that data type is going to have attributes, or like it's going to have values it will store. So whenever we want to, because we can have book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5, and all those books we are going to be having would always be of type struts, having the property of the capital book. So we don't get to we don't get to be defining them all over again. Just put capital book, then the name of the new book you want to create, and that new book you want to create, you can go ahead to assign values to it.
Okay, I think that's good enough. Do you understand it now, or do you need me to throw more light?
I understand. But let's say we want to put in a second book. Maybe this time learn Python instead of learn Java. Will you have to create another instance, like maybe book 2? Do you understand my question?
Hello? Okay, I think, I don't know whether he's still around. I think he's not so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think, yes, you can. But since we are using a function here, and we are not passing variables to it, we have to still create another function again. Like if you're not trying to introduce a new concept here, we will have to create another function here. So that function we are going to create, we can first of all define a state variable, call it book2. Then inside the new function we are creating, it will now be book2 equals to book of capital, then the content we want it to be. Do you get?
Yes, yes, I get.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Um, I am sorry. I don't know. I don't know. I think I missed that, but I guess I heard the ending part of the question speaking about book two or something. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay, can you like recap the question so that I could attempt, or have you gotten an answer?
I have the other guy helped me out.
Okay, so aside the both of you, is there any other person that have a question or a contribution? Maybe I shouldn't do it this way. I should have done it this way, or you've been using this method instead of this one you are showing us. I would like to learn as well. I would like to know your thoughts as well, because I think we are done with our slides for today. So if there is no question, no contribution, we'll have to round up. I think something can be done here. Can make this an array. Book. Hmm. Add book. Okay. I want to see if there's an easier way of having to add two or more books into one place instead of having to write functions over and over again. So we call in this guy books dot push. Oh yeah, clear all these guys. Let me just see. Patrick entered the waiting room. We're about rounding up here, and you are coming now. Let me just run. Give me a little time. Let me see if this will work out. author, and we have the book ID. What I think the book ID. What again? Push. Okay. I think they.
No, I think hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go on.
Okay. My first two observation. Um. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's the one I want to suggest. That I think it should be a type of book.
Yeah.
I don't know why the unsigned integer is. Should it have a view or what?
I'm unsure. Should I add it to the memory? Let me see. What is our compiler saying? Expected this. Okay,
Okay, yeah, comma, yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So let's book idea. I think we have to comment the whole function because we
Yep.
don't have a single book now. Is it going to work? It's not going to work now.
Not sure it's going to work. We have to require that the index is, how do I do? Oh my Lord. I have issues with using this Mac. I don't know how to write less than sign on it or greater than. Okay, I need a greater than sign in here. How do I get that?
Just do a Google search now. Just copy and paste now.
Exactly. Greater than. Okay.
Someone drop on the chat.
Oh, thank you. I think that's faster. The chart should come up. Thank you for that. Okay. So actually I needed the less than. Should be the other way around. Can you do that again? Can you hear me? If you can, please give me the less than sign. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I think I was disconnected again. Did anybody drop the less than sign for me? Oh, my screen is not shared anymore. Okay, can y'all see my screen now? Okay, I think I've seen it.
Yes, man.
Thank you for that quick intervention. With time, I'll get used to it. Books.length.
And you've not defined.
Yeah. Index out of bounds or not found. Then let's return the index itself. And what is the ID?
You've not put in
What did I miss? What did I miss?
the function, the parameter. You've not passed in a value. You've not passing in this. Like
Yeah, what do you think I missed? Index not
index is not being like. I think you can pass it as a value, or you can define it. You can declare it.
okay,
Index.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Uint index. Okay, we are good to go, right? Let's see if we deploy this one. What happens? Deployed successfully. Okay, now in this case, the
You need
user
to pass
can,
values.
yeah, you can add, let's say the title is Jack Robinson. The author is, sorry, that should be an author, right?
Yeah,
Let's
title.
just, let's just use it as the author. Let's give it a random title. Solidity practice. And we give the book ID 1. Transact and it goes. Then if you are getting the book ID, let's say you click on 1, call. The transaction has been reverted to initial state. Why? What did we not do?
The index not found. I think because of the 0 and 1 issue. Say index not found, probably because of the 0 and 1 issue. Or
Oh, okay. Because actually that's the first data, right?
yeah, let's see if it could be the reason. It works now.
Oh, you were correct. You were correct. It's the 0 and 1 issue. So we have actually gotten the, let's see, call. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the person that asked that question is seeing all of this, because I think this is another way to,
Create books.
to
Books they
create
will run.
books, a lot of books, give them IDs, and then when you are calling it, you call it out with using their index. I hope you've gotten clarity.
Yes, I have.
All right, so thank you very much for coming to this space, for coming for this session. So tomorrow we will have another session, and probably I will not be the one to take you guys. My colleague Gerald Sule will take you, and I'll be in the group chat in WhatsApp, so you can send a DM or you can tag me in the group if you have any challenge and you need assistance, you need someone to help. I will reach out. I'll reach out to you. So in a bit of saying goodbye, I think we had a total of I would like to have like 2-3 persons tell me what and what they picked out from today's session. So just volunteer. I don't want to pick out anyone.
Okay, it was quite a wonderful class. At least I get to refresh my knowledge on this data type, most especially struct and norms. I think when you do something over and over, you kind of master it. So seeing this again, try to refresh my memory about things I think I know before now.
Awesome.
So
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so who else is speaking? Okay, someone dropped a chat. Thank you, Patrick, for joining us. Thank you for staying up to the end. So who else is speaking?
So the session was successful. It reminded me on the variables because I think I learned about them quite a while back, and it was so interesting that I got to remember them again. And I'll be there even tomorrow for the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for joining us. I'm happy you were reminded of things you've known before. And yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'll be here, although I'll not be teaching, but I'll be here as well to learn alongside. So, okay, so let's all call it a day. We are very grateful. I
Okay,
mean,
let me interrupt a bit. I was
all right.
asking about your WhatsApp group. I don't think if I'm there, so I'd like to be added.
Okay, so I'm going to drop my contacts in the chat shortly. Make sure you send a
Okay.
DM to that contact ASAP so that I could add you.
Okay.
So thank you very much once again for coming out. Sorry for, spending time. I think we've spent an hour, 47 minutes learning together. And yes, it was an amazing time having to interact. I'm happy I did not talk alone as I, anticipated. You guys, you interacted and it was fun. I'm sure it was fun on your end because on my end it was really fun having you guys. So we'll meet again tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, and I think 6 p.m. West African time. And in the general time should be 3 p.m. UTC, right? So I'll catch up with every one of you on the group. Thank you very much. Okay.